Good evening. It's Wednesday night, and that means time for another Facebook Live. Excuse me. My allergies. I'm allergic to something right now, I think, because my allergies have been bothering me again. But welcome. I'm glad I'm back with you live. Although last week I really enjoyed spending time with my new grandson, so it was definitely worth being with him last week. All right, let me get this shared over to our group. Hey, Carol. In case somebody is looking there, I want to share it there. We'll give everybody a minute. Hey, Nancy. Give everybody a minute to get on. You like this? Hey, Betty. You like my wild card? I need to make some more where it's not quite so wild, but I thought he was fun. Hey, Susie. All right. Getting this shared over to my group, and then we will get started. All right. There we go. It's posting. Okay. So tonight we're using a couple of different things, but what I've been showcasing this week is this spiral die stamp. And I showed you a couple of cards yesterday and Monday using this set. And you would think that it would be really difficult to make like a two-tone card like this. It is not at all. So let me show you how easy that is. The other thing I'm using is the Wildcats bundle. I still need to make a purple one. If you don't know, I grew up in Manhattan, Kansas, which is home of the K-State Wildcats. And my dad was a professor there, so I bleed purple. So I still need to make a purple cat at some point. I just haven't done that. And then there are dies that go with it. And so we are going to use the die to cut out the tiger. So you've got ones that will cut out the animals and some of the greenery, and then just some extra ones. And I also used this one right here. Just to add a little greenery. So that's the other thing that we're using. But we're going to start with the spiral just to do it first. Now, a trick that my friend Kay taught me is that you want to be sure and cut your paper a little bit bigger than you want it to end up being. So this, and I'll put all the measurements on my blog like I always do. So this ends up being 4 by 5 1/4. But I'm going to start with a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece. And I've just made a little mark here. That's where I want to lay this. And actually, I'm going to turn this the other way so I can ink it up. And it always helps to have something underneath here. Just makes it flatter and a little easier to ink. So I'm going to ink it up with the lighter color first. So that's the Soft Succulent. Hey, Allison. So we're just going to ink the whole thing up with Soft Succulent. And then we're just going to stamp it. And you have to give it some pressure. And the nice thing about the Stamparatus is if it's not perfect, then you can put it back down. Like I messed up here. So you can just put it back down and press some more. There we go. And it's not meant to be completely solid. You can kind of tell from the back of the stamp that some are darker than others, so it's not supposed to be completely solid. Okay, so there's our first color. And you can see how there's an edge here that's not stamped. That's why you want to be sure that you have it cut bigger than you want it to end up. Okay, now the trick. Wait, first we got to clean our thing before I forget. So we're going to a darker color, and I'd probably be okay without cleaning, but I like to clean it off just to make sure I don't get any colors mixed up. You would probably not notice it in this case, like I said, because we're going to a darker color. Okay. Now, the only trick to this, you take your paper and you rotate it 180 degrees. That's it. That's all you have to do. Put it in that same spot, so in that corner. And now I'm going to close up my soft succulent so I don't make a mess. Now I'm going to use the Evening Evergreen. So these are two of our new in colors. And I'm just going to do the same thing. Just ink it up all over. And this is a really dark green. I need to play some more with this, I think with some lighter colors. I was thinking the butterflies would look pretty with this if you use some more pastel colors. And now you just do the same thing. Just press it all over. Try and get up here this time, so maybe it will ink. The good thing is my camera is mounted on something else, not the table I'm working in, so I'm not at least shaking you while I'm doing this. All right, let's see how we are. Yeah. So there you go. All right, let me get the Stamparatus out of our way now. So now we have this fun two-color spiral image. Now, if you wanted to do 3, all you do is ink up another color and you just put it like one square down and over like that. So then you would ink up, but you could do a third one. But with this one, with the 2 greens, I decided that was probably enough. We didn't need another color. All right, so now let's set that aside. And let's do our tiger. I forgot to get him on a block. So you can make these tigers or leopards. We're going to make a tiger because that seems kind of stripy to me, so it just seemed like it went better. And because he is photopolymer and very solid, I'm going to use my Stampin' Pierce. And I'm using Cajun Craze, and this is the color that's in the Designer Series paper that goes with this. And I had thought about adding some of that, but I decided the spiral was wild enough we didn't need to add any Designer Series paper to it. So ink up your tiger. And it doesn't matter if he's straight because we're going to cut him out. There we go. And I guess I could have made him like pumpkin pie or something, but I really do like the Cajun Craze. All right. Then we need to do his stripes. And I'm going to use Memento for that. And they were very ingenious with these stripes because you can have it go like this. I don't know if you can see that on there. For the one sitting down, or like this for the one walking. So you can use the same stripes for both. All right, so I have my Memento black. We'll ink it up for a while. And we will put some stripes on him. I think about like that. Now his legs don't get striped, but I was okay with that. He still looks like a tiger. And then there is a head. So there are 2 heads, one leopard head, one tiger head. So we want the tiger head. And I found, we're going to use Memento black again. I have found the easiest way to line this up is to look for the ears. So I take the ears and line them up. Yep, I didn't get them lined up. It's hard when I'm doing it not right over it like I would be normally doing, but it's fine. It's just, all right, so there's our tiger. Now we need to cut him out. So I'm going to get my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And we need the die. him on here in our die. Get him all lined up. Put this on carefully without moving the die. There we go. And then I just kind of hold it to get it started. There we go. Ooh, that was close. About lost my die. All right. Now we have this nice tiger all cut out, ready. I'm going to put my die away so I don't lose it. Okay. Now we're ready to, nope, we have one more thing to do. We need to stamp our sentiment. So I decided this was a pretty wild card. So I did have a wild birthday. So here it is. Lost my stamps. And we're going to stamp it in the Evening Evergreen. I think it fit on this. I thought about doing it in the Cajun Craze, but it was going to be sitting kind of right on top of the tiger, so I decided not. Okay. So we have our Evening Evergreen, and we're going to stamp it hopefully straight. Not bad. All right, and then we'll just take, these are the scissors I have handy. These are my adhesive scissors, but they'll work. And I'm just going to cut it. You could use a trimmer. Actually, I do need my trimmer, so I could have done that, but that's fine. All right, so now we have our tiger, our sentiment. I already die cut the little branches that we're going to use, but we need to trim this down before we put it on our card. So I've got my trimmer, and you want it to end up being 4 by 5 1/4, and it's 4 1/4. So what I do is I cut off 1/8 of an inch on each side. So now this will be down to 4. And so it just cuts off that bit that's not really inked up very well. And then this will be 5 1/4. So I'll do 5 3/8 to start. So I'm just cutting a little bit off, and then we'll end up with 5 1/4. Now it's nice and stamped all the way around, and you don't have any of that white, you know, where it didn't stamp. So now you just have this nice spiral. All right, we are ready to put this all together. So I have a card base, and I think I already said this, but if I didn't, I will have all the dimensions on my blog after I'm done here. I will go update it. And then everyone that comments on this will be in the drawing to win this fun card. I've decided I'm going to send this one to my niece. Her birthday is in August, I think. And she is studying to be, she works at a zoo, and she's studying zoology and something else, conservation. So I think this will be perfect for her for a birthday card. All right, and I decided that this was a little bit too wild, having that tiger right on that. So something I like to do if I just need to tone down the background a little bit is I just use a piece of vellum, and it just tones it down enough. Now I got to figure out about, yeah, so I want to put some adhesive kind of towards the top here, because I'm going to cover up that with my tiger. Because now this, you might not be able to notice it because it's so wild, but you can usually see adhesive through vellum. So I'm going to take some liquid glue and I'm just going to put him on flat. That way I can get some glue down on his feet. Not a lot, just a little. And I kind of put him towards the top of the vellum. Whoops. So that my sentiment could go down here at the bottom. And the way I did this is I took a little bit of green glue and I just put a little bit on some of these leaves sticking up like that. And then I laid the sentiment over it like that. So that just kind of attached the sentiment to the leaves. And then I used mini glue dots to adhere the sentiment to the card. And I tried to put them kind of over, and you might be able to use full-size ones. It might be wide enough for that. But on the ends, I tried to put them over the leaves a little bit, just to help anchor it. All right, then this is going to go here, the bottom of our tiger, and there you go. There's our card for tonight. Have a wild birthday. I thought it was kind of fun with those greens like that. It's like he's in a wild jungle. All right. Well, everybody that comments on this video will be in the drawing for this card. Last week I did a not live, and I made baby cards with this pull toy that is retiring today. So if you haven't placed an order, I sent out an email yesterday with the hostess code. Today is the last day to order anything out of the spring mini catalog that is retiring. But I did not see any comments on my post. So if you want to comment on that one, I will do a drawing for these cards. And then next week, I'll do a drawing for this card. Okay. That is it for tonight. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, ladies. I'm glad you liked it. Hey, Debbie, I didn't see you join on. I'm glad you could join us tonight. All right. I will see you next week. Good night.